Okay, this is station 8, filtering a mixture. Read the directions for correctly filtering a mixture. Okay, so let's go over here. Filtration is a procedure commonly used to separate liquids from insoluble solids. Insoluble means it does not dissolve. In this procedure, the solid liquid mixture is poured into a funnel in which a paper filter has been fitted. The filter traps the solid particles and allows the liquid to pass through, where it is collected in a container. The paper filter is formed by folding a piece of filter paper as illustrated. As shown in step 3 of the figure, you don't have to worry about that. Once the filter is formed, place it in the funnel and tack it into position by wetting it slightly with distilled water and pressing it against the walls of the funnel until all the air bubbles are removed. Okay, so over here, you're giving you a couple definitions that I believe are questions on the lab. Filtrate is the liquid that has been passed through a filter, and the precipitate is the solid that is formed when two liquids are mixed. So, make a solution of sodium chloride, NaCl, by shaking a spatula of the solid salt in a test tube half full of water. Well, you don't need that much. So let's pull this close. Here's my sodium chloride. And I'm going to use the same method. I'm going to use the back of my hand and take that off. This is called a spatula. I really only need about that much. Not that much at all. I'm going to pour it into the water that I already have. Put that back. And shake this around a little bit. When you have a test tube, shaking a test tube is usually done by this. You can do it this way as well. Okay? Now, I probably even put too much salt in there. Let's see what happens though. Add 3 drops of a silver nitrate solution, a drop at a time. So over here, I've got silver nitrate. Silver nitrate is nasty. That's danger. That's corrosive. That's deadly. 3 different signs here. I'm going to use what I already learned. I'm going to take my hand, turn it upside down like that, take this off. This will probably already be filled for you, so you don't have to do this part, but I'm just going to put a tiny bit in here. I'm going to return the cap to it. And now I'm only going to use this eyedropper on this one. So here I've got my salt solution, and here's the silver nitrate. 3 drops. Watch what happens. 1, 2, 3. So that white stuff being formed here, that's called the precipitate. Okay? That's the precipitate. And we say that it came out of solution. I'm going to set this back here. And I'm going to take a filter paper. And as the directions show me here, I'm going to first fold it in half. Then I'm going to fold it in half again. Now some places like this tell you to tear a little bit of the edge off. That's not critical. It helps get air through. Now this is the weird part, because people want to just put the filter paper in there, but you have to peel back only one part of it. It's going to be in 4. You peel back one of them, and then you place it in the filter. Okay? Now it says distilled water, but we'll skip that part. I'm going to get a little bit of water going here, and I'm going to wet it. Hopefully you can see that. And when it's wet, it will allow it to stick. Okay. Now I'm going to put this in my setup here. By the way, this is called a clay triangle. This is called a ring. This is called the ring stand. So I need this in order for that to hold there. So I'm going to go back over here to what I made here with the silver nitrate and the salt. And basically what I'm going to do is just pour it in. When I pour it in, some of it's going to go. And then as you can see there, it's flowing in there. It might take quite a bit of time for it to filter through. So if you start that, you can walk away and go to a different station as long as it's free, and then go back and check on it. So it could take a few minutes. Now, one thing to speed this up is sometimes if it gets a vacuum lock, so if you pick up on the filter a little bit, it might break that vacuum lock, and then the water should go through there a little bit more quickly. It doesn't always happen that way, but okay. Then I'm cleaning up. I've got my test tube to take care of. This is salt. This can go right down the drain. Make sure that's nice and clean. And then I'm going to put it back on the test tube rack for the next person. Okay? That's filtering.